Hey, what's up? Downtown Lou's back, and today starts the week 3 of the NBA season. And before we take a look at the standings of the NBA, let's go ahead and recap these first 2 weeks really quickly. The best team is the Thunder, and the Thunder are playing the best basketball, but they're also playing a lot of it. The Thunder and the Warriors are tied in the Western Conference for the most game played already with 7. But the Thunder do have 2 double overtime games, and with a lot of injuries mounting up, they have a lot of players playing a lot of minutes. This shouldn't be an issue for a young team, but we're going to monitor that situation going forward for the rest of the season. In the Eastern Conference, the 76ers should absolutely trade Joel Embiid. Not because he isn't playing okay, but because Maxey and Edgecombe have proven they don't need him anymore. Let's maximize our return on Embiid. It also seems to not matter who the lead guard is in LA. As long as LeBron doesn't play, apparently, Luka or Reeves has that team very good position. Throw in the emergence of Lavaria, and you got 3 white boys. That's a 3-headed snake right there. The heave rule change that the NBA implemented this season has definitely seen an increase in heaves taken at almost a double rate of last season. It's almost like teams are figuring out that every point would count, or that people just know that field goal percentage actually ties into their salary negotiations. The San Antonio Spurs are 5-1, a record no one could have predicted, even if everyone expected Wemby to play at this level that might give him MVP, MIP, and DPOY honors this year. The thing with the Spurs is the rest of the team is just much better than we thought they were. The Chicago Bulls are the Spurs of the East and also have a 5-1 record. And also, coincidentally, look ridiculously good. But it's not the star players that are looking good. It's everybody is playing their role perfectly. The Boston Celtics will probably figure out they're 3-4 despite Peyton Pritchard shooting 18% from 3 on 7 attempts per game. This is all while Peyton Pritchard is leading the team in minutes played per game. The only options going forward for him are back to the bench or traded. 2 other teams that'll probably figure it out are the Knicks and the Warriors, who coincidentally have the same problem. They have an identity issue. Both teams have lots of talent, are very deep, but have an uneven rotation problem. Players not playing the same minutes or at the same time in every game. The coaches are doing lineups based on minutes and the team they're playing instead of based on the actual flow of the game. Still, I predict both teams to be on top of their conferences in the top 3 each by the end of the season. So I have to ask, will the Damian Lillardless Blazers make it to the championship this year even if he doesn't play? The Blazers with future Hall of Famer Jrue Holiday at the helm look like they're ready to play spoiler to any contender in any conference. So I have to ask. And lastly, the number 1 pick does not look like a top 5 rookie in the NBA this season. I'm not sure if that's fit, usage, style of play, supporting cast, but he doesn't look like he's actually going to hold up over a career on the Mavs. And honestly, that's just the drama on the court, because the product on the court in the NBA this season has been nothing short of amazing. Double overtime games, huge stat lines, huge comebacks. I mean, this season couldn't be any more massive. That being said, the product off the court is even better. The reality TV show that is the NBA is doing numbers. An active head coach and an active NBA starter have both been arrested by the FBI. Shout out to Kevin Love for posting and deleting this picture. The NBA has Congress asking about mob ties and illegal gambling operations. And this is just the first 2 weeks. I mean, come on. What do you guys think is going to happen in the next 2 weeks, let alone the rest of this season? Now let's go ahead and look at the standings of the NBA as of today after 2 weeks. No surprise, the Thunder number 1, but the Spurs at number 2 and the Lakers number 3 and even the Trailblazers number 4 are very unexpected here. It's easy to make overreactions after the first 2 weeks saying the Spurs or even the Trailblazers could make it deep runs in the playoffs. I just don't think that is the case. And although these games are early season, they're super important to win. We saw how close the West was last year. 2 games took you from 10th to 6th and 6th to 3rd. So every one of these games matter, especially when you play the own teams in your own conference. So I'm looking to see the Warriors and Minnesota both improve and make it into that top 6. Although I don't think Portland is going to stay in this top 6. I think they're going to move over to the play-in category. And I think Memphis is going to drop out, even though I had them preseason predict number 4. I'm expecting at some point everyone's going to figure out San Antonio, and they're going to slide as well. Wemby is great, but Wemby is only one player, and he is a lot reliant on his outside jumper and does not use his size to his full advantage. Some teams are going to figure out how to guard that by putting maybe a small on him, like Alex Caruso or something like that, like the Thunder did to the Nuggets in the playoffs and every team they played in the playoffs. Look for some interesting strategies to come up against the Spurs and Wemby. The Lakers are real interesting, though. The Lakers are interesting because they're showing that they don't really need LeBron James to be a top-tier team in the West. I had them predicted to be 10th in the West, but they're still looking like they can compete on an every-night basis. And when you compete every night, you win every other night. When you do that, you stay atop of the leaderboard. They look as a solid lock to stay in the top 6. Looking at the bottom 9 teams here, my most surprising one is actually the Phoenix Suns. A 3-4 record does not actually show how well they've played. A lot of these games have been closer than the scores look, and they're losing games by 1 or 2 points. They still have Devin Booker. They got some injuries they're dealing with. I look to see them shoot up in the rankings, whereas I see the Rockets, the Grizzlies moving down. And don't forget about the Utah Jazz team and the Dallas Mavericks. They're on their way up. The West is super competitive this year, but when is it not? Every game matters. I'm talking to you, Warriors. The East seems really top-heavy, especially right now after 2 weeks, but I don't think it's as top-heavy as it looks. Chicago has a really tough schedule coming up, and I expect them to drop. Detroit hasn't actually played anyone to deserve their 4-2 record in number 4 in the East. The Cavs have been injured, and the Heat have looked unstoppable in wins and horrible in losses, which is the mark of a lower-tier team. I'm confident that the 76ers, the Bucks, the Cavs, and the Knicks will be the top 4 teams in the East. Everyone else is going to be up for grabs. Look for Toronto and the Hawks and Orlando to slide down. Trae Young, they're winning without you. You might get traded. Dallas Mavericks? I mean, come on, that'd be good. These bottom 9 teams in the East are all a mess, it seems like. Pacers have more injured players than normal players. The Wizards are the Wizards. And Toronto has stolen a couple games that it's not supposed to win. Overall, I think the 2 biggest movers from this list are going to be the Pacers and the Celtics. Both teams are highly injured, and they're going to continue to get better as soon as they find some consistency in their lineups. And the Celtics team is just shooting so bad. As soon as their shots start falling, they're going to start beating teams by 20 again, and we're going to start saying, is Jason Tatum needed? Like we're saying about LeBron. Although we know he's needed. Both of them actually are. The real question here is, which team is going to win first, the Nets or the Pelicans? And I'm not sure. I have them both right now at 15 games apiece winning. But I couldn't tell you who they're going to beat. Maybe they'll get lucky one night. And that's going to wrap it up today, guys. Week 3 starts, and I'm super excited. Lots of good games. But let's talk about that tonight's game of the night that's on Peacock. Minnesota versus the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, Brooklyn, if there's any time to get a win to show that you're actually a franchise and not replacement players, tonight's the night on national TV. And for Minnesota, don't be the team that screws this up and lets them get their first win. And guys, yes, we're going to still continue to do our bets. We're just going to probably post those more on our Twitter page than anything else. I will do some where I explain my bets in video. For now, we're just going to talk about this game of the night and how the NBA should be able to flex who's on national TV and who's not, because this is not a good-looking game. No Anthony Edwards and the Brooklyn Nets. I don't even know what we're going to watch. I probably won't watch this one, and I'll watch something else on NBA League Pass. As always, Downtown Luke, y'all stay up. Peace.